welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is Sarah's SoCal Garden. So in today's video is going to be a July garden tour, and I'm just absolutely loving how the garden is coming along. I can't believe all of these things that you'll see in a moment. I started from a little tiny seed. It's pretty cool to watch everything grow and blossom and bear fruit. And anyways, I apologize for not giving you guys a June garden tour. The month of June was just like crazy busy, but it's still busy this month of July, as those of you know that I'll be selling at my local farmers market soon. Go ahead and follow me. I did make an Instagram for Sarah's SoCal Garden, so it's at sarahs.socal.garden. Go ahead and give me a follow there. And anyways, I'll just go ahead and start with the garden tour. And just really quickly, I want to just thank everybody that has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love interacting with you guys and learning from you guys, and it's just a great garden community here on YouTube, and I love it. Anyways, I'll stop babbling now and let's get started with the July garden tour. Alright, so I thought I'd start with my side garden first. And in this raised bed, sorry for the background noise, this raised bed I have a volunteer squash that started. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I'm just letting it grow. And then I do have cucumbers still in here. They're doing okay. I'm just letting them grow. There's one weird one down there. I have some chard inside this bed. And then I did put a new squash down in here. That one. I have a couple of geraniums. And then going here is where the side garden raised beds are, and this is where a lot of my tomatoes are. And if you can see, very not fancy at all, I do have shade cloth up because some days it's reaching over 90 degrees into the hundreds, and I do not want my tomato plants to scorch. I want them to keep producing blossoms. So yeah, this is the red Russian kale, which it's doing incredible. The birds are eating the leaves, but that's because I need to fill their bird bath so they don't eat my stuff. And then this is the black cherry tomato variety. It will turn into this really pretty dark red color. And this plant is just loaded with tomatoes there in the bottom. And then these varieties with these bigger leaves, these are the Brandywine varieties. And I just picked one. I just picked my first Brandywine. But they have like these potato type style leaves. And then you can see from the side here, there is another Brandywine there. If you guys can see that green one, it hasn't yet ripened. It is getting huge. If it ripens up in time, I might enter into the fair. We'll have to see. So everything's doing great underneath the shade cloth. Plants are very healthy. I do have some spider mite damage, but what I do with that is I just cut off the leaves immediately. And then if it keeps coming back, then I'll spray. And then when I see the leaves that are starting to yellow like this, I just take it off immediately. Blueberry plants have gone over. I'm not going to be getting any more blueberries off that. And I think this variety of tomato in the second bed, this should be, I believe this is the black cherry variety here. And then down here, this variety of tomato is I think this is the big rainbow, that one. And then this one here that just fell over because the fruit is too heavy for the plant. This is the striped red Roma, which is perfectly ripe. It's ready to pick, but I'm waiting because I think I'm going to enter this one into the fair along with a couple other ones. And then I have, this is the lamb's ear sage. Seems to be it's getting eaten by something, so I'm not sure if I might have to start putting bird netting over here. And then I have cabbages, which they are forming. This is the, I think this is a Savoy cabbage. And then I have one here. That head has pretty much formed. I should probably harvest that. More cherry tomatoes. Cannot go wrong with cherries. And then I do have, this is the mouse melon, also known as the Mexican sour gherkin. I don't see any on here yet, but I'm letting it do its thing and just yeah, I'm just letting it grow. It seems to be happy right here. And then coming in this bed, this is the third bed before I go to the back over there. So the beans have pretty much all gone over. I've been harvesting them and shelling them. And then this tomato, this cherry tomato, this is a Gardener's Delight. This is giving me really nice, delicious fruits. And it's been producing quite well. It is getting really, really tall, so I have to keep up with it. And then the purple kale is doing really, really well. I've seen the grasshoppers eating it, but that's okay. Here are some ripe Gardener's Delights. Gardener's Delight, I really like that variety. And then here, down here, I have beets. This is a Chioggia variety of beets. This is the delicata squash. I'm just kind of letting it grow underneath here. I've only gotten one delicata squash off it, which I've already harvested. And then these tomato plants right here, some of these are green zebra, which, as you can see, that is a green zebra, but they are not ready yet. And there's a cluster. Let's see if I can find it. There they are. That is a cluster of green zebra. And these are just fantastic. They're still really hard. Focus. So with the green tomatoes, you have to really touch them in order to feel if they're ripe or not, because they're green. So unlike a red tomato where you can tell if it's ready. And then over here, I believe this variety is probably some type of cherry. It looks like a black cherry. It hasn't given me any fruit yet. I think that's just because this plant gets extremely tall first. I'm not sure. And then down below here, I have shallots, which I have not harvested. They absolutely do need to be harvested though. That's for sure. Alright, so coming around, this is the first bed. I wanted to show you guys what it looks like from this side, but there are lots of green tomatoes here. I'm pretty sure that this variety is a Cherokee Purple. And I've gotten so many Cherokee Purples already. It's another one, they're green. And then that's a zucchini plant that's tucked away. I haven't gotten any zucchinis off of it yet, but I think that's just because it's competing with all of these tomatoes that are around it, so it's probably having a hard time. But come around here, you can see that this plant I think this is just off of one plant, I can't really tell. But I got so many unripe tomatoes. And then this is a yellow pear. And there's one almost ready. I really do enjoy the yellow pear variety, but I am getting fruit. And then coming around here, which I need to do some pruning off of this. This is a Brandywine, and you can see how big that is. Fits in the palm of my hand. And then there's another one here I showed you guys earlier. This one is even bigger, which I should probably support it. Oh my god, it's so heavy. Okay, there we go. So on with the garden tour here. My thyme is just doing so good. Got some lavender. Here is another, that is a Cherokee purple underneath there. That's doing quite well. It's almost ready. Needs to get a little bit more pink and then it'll be ready to harvest. And then underneath here, just gonna prune as I give a tour because I cannot help but I noticed there is some spider mite damage, so I might have to start spraying. But let's see, there are some ripe black cherry tomatoes right there. More Gardener's Delight. Some Swiss chard. It's doing well. Red onions, which are bulbing nicely. And more mouse melons that seem to trying to choke out the red onions. But I want them to grow up here. Ooh, it's hot. And then here I have, this is more yellow pear tomatoes. And they're just in this really big grow bag. I need to come in here and prune. But I do see some fruits that are starting to form. And this plant is very healthy. So coming around here, you guys have not seen this new raised bed. It looks kind of weird right now because I have shade cloth on it, but it's so hot outside. It's like 90. It needs to have shade cloth because there's new seedlings. I do succession plant my tomatoes, so these are younger tomatoes that will give me fruit later on in the season. More zucchini. And then on this side, those are all cucumber plants, which I need to make a trellis soon for these to climb up. And then underneath the shade cloth, those are all zucchini and patty pan seedlings. That's why I have them covered, because they're pretty immature right now. And then this is some marjoram. Sorry, that noise is the air conditioner. I apologize. This is marjoram. And I like to let some of my herbs go to flower because the bees really like these. And then this is sage. This is just the basic culinary sage. And then here I have kale. This is a heirloom curly kale, dino kale, which the birds have been having a field day on this. I'm probably gonna get some bird netting out here soon. More kale back there, but despite the heat, the kale is just doing amazing. I cannot believe it's just putting on all this new growth, which is fantastic. And then back here I have cabbage, which this cabbage is split, so I need to harvest this. And then hiding in here are beets, which this... Alright you guys, so this is part 2 of the July garden tour. I apologize. After I finished recording while I was recording the last clips, my phone got overheated and I wasn't able to use my phone. But anyways, I'm gonna try and hurry up this July garden tour because there is a lot. I believe the last clip that I was editing, I was on the side garden and I didn't quite finish, so I'm gonna go all the way back there to the back and show you guys what else I have growing. Alright, so I do keep shade cloth on my stuff, on my tomatoes, because it's reaching in the 90s every single day. Beautiful kale down there. Lots of tomatoes coming on still. There's one cherry down there. Fennel. Milkweed. And I added this little garden decoration here. It's quite cute. And then coming along here, sunflowers are just about done. That's an old sunflower stalk. And yeah, I need to pull it out, but it's in there quite deep. So this is just the pollinator area, the area for the wildlife. They can come and pollinate things. And then this is just squash. This is my squash patch. And here I have, this is a butternut. That's all butternut underneath there. There's some random beets. I just have lots of squash. They're doing good. Those are gonna be selling those all at market. And then my watermelons and cantaloupe, which are doing good. But the birds, they're really having a field day on these, which I don't like. I don't want to have to put bird netting over this, but it looks like I'm going to. There's a little tiny pumpkin in there. Can you guys see that? And then in these squash plants, the squash are just getting loaded down. This newer squash plant is already giving me blossoms, which is great. No fruits yet, but that's fine. These are the newer tomato plants, which are really, really healthy. And that's it for the back side garden. Alright, so before my phone overheats, I'll take you guys to the backyard, which is a little more cooler, and I'll show you guys what's growing over there. Alright, so I am going to show you guys a new part of my garden. So if you don't know, I will be selling at my local farmer's market, and I just want to show you guys like my setup, like how I have it, like my washing area. It's not completely finished, this is just like a temporary situation, but I'll just give you guys the idea of what's going on right here. Alright, so this is the area that I have. This is just like a storage area where I just keep, like, there's my cash box, my tomato containers, tablecloths, and then this one I keep like my clips for my signs, any like tape and stuff like that. And in here I have a receipt book. I have plastic bags, rubber bands for vegetables, and these are like my this is what I'm going to be taking to market for all my vegetables and stuff, as well as like containers like that. And then these I just keep like extra Amazon cardboard boxes for any personal deliveries. I put my vegetables in these. This is my temporary scale. My like actual certified scale is coming in the mail, so I'll show you guys that in a later video. But this just does pounds and kilos, ounces, and things like that. And then at the bottom here is where I have, hello, hey mister. On the bottom here is where I have all my baskets I keep for market. So these are all the baskets I put on the tables and buckets And this is harvesting baskets. Here's my canopy that I use. It's just a white canopy. And then this is like an extra like stand if I want to use it at market. My mom found me this sign. We're gonna put it up over here. We put that sign up, but we're gonna put that over here at the station. And this is just like a stainless steel station. What I plan on doing is drying my vegetables down there in the bottom. So I have a spigot here on the side. That's where my hose is gonna go. And then I'm washing my vegetables because I don't have a sink. I'm washing my vegetables in containers. So I'm filling them up with water. Yeah, that's it. And then here are my tables for market. I have one 6-foot table and one 5-foot table, which is right behind it. And then I'm gonna walk over to the garden. This is a whiskey barrel filled with several tomatoes. This is a Brandywine tomato, which is doing great. No diseases, which is fantastic for Brandywine. I have a striped Roma tomato. And then some more Brandywine tomatoes, which I noticed, see, those are caterpillar droppings, but I swear to you, I cannot find the caterpillar. They hide so easy. I mean, they hide so good. I don't know where they are, unless the birds are getting to them before I do. I'm not sure. So any leaves I see that are looking kind of dead like that, I just take them off immediately. They're not doing anything for the plant. So over here in this whiskey barrel, I have mint, chocolate mint, which I'll be selling at market, and then also orange mint. But this is a very delicate mint. It doesn't really store long for the fridge, not like spearmint would. And then I have zucchini, more zucchini plants. I'm not getting any more zucchinis off of this. There's some baby ones down there, but you need to hurry up. And then I have more zucchini plants here, which, ooh, there's a nice one. I'm not gonna pick that one yet. But yeah, that one looks really good. And then there's another zucchini plant over there on that side. And I just cleared out some of this area. It was like really overgrown, dead collards. I just tied those collards up there and I wrapped it around with bird netting because the birds will have a field day on my collards, which I don't want them to do because I am selling those at market. And Swiss chard down there, which I hope it comes back because the birds have just like taken over. And if you make the bird netting kind of complicated, they'll get really scared and then start freaking out. And the birds won't really want to come around. Now, they'll try, but it's really difficult for them to get in and around it. Anyways, here's my potting bench. Nothing new here. I did harvest onions, just a little small batch of red onions that I have, which needs to go. I just have them on this hanger and they're just drying out. I think I'll just keep these for personal use. I won't sell those. And then I did add this whiteboard to the back, so I have like a list of everything I need to do. It comes with a pen and like this little magnet. So I have like, I need to fertilize, plant basil seedlings, which I did, so I can cross that out. And then I need to plant chili seedlings, which, yeah, I need to do that. And then for those of you asking, fertilizers that I use is, I do use this. I use this Liquid Bloom, and then I also use this fish fertilizer, which is a more natural fertilizer. And yeah, and so this has no nitrogen in it, which is great because what you need for your vegetables is you also need potassium and phosphorus. So it says no nitrogen in here, and yeah, I've been using this. I really like the combination of both of these together. Excuse me, sir. And yeah, so I've already started doing my fall planting for my fall seed sowing. And I'll show you guys that probably in another video. I'll show you the seeds that I am going to start to grow. But these are leeks that need to go out in the garden. I just have them in water, and some onions that I'll probably be selling those as spring onions, or just use them for personal use. But over here I have so many chili plants, and they're doing kind of good. They're getting eaten, and I'm not sure. I'm just kind of letting them do their own thing. As you can see, I have some chilies. I think this is a jalapeno, and they're doing okay. This is my first year growing chilies from seeds, so we'll see what happens. And lots of tomatoes. This is a Brandywine variety, which I've already harvested. I harvested 2 off this plant earlier, so I have 1 more, and then I have another one there in the back. But this is a Gardener's Delight cherry tomato, which the Gardener's Delight is doing quite prolific. It's doing really good. I'm pleased with it. And then this is more chilies. Chilies, cayenne chilies. I like to keep the chilies in the sun as much as possible because they love being in the sun. They cannot have too much sun. More chilies. More tomatoes. Then I have some tomatoes over here. This is a Cherokee Purple, which this plant right here, I've had to really prune. It's got a lot of diseases on it. But the tomatoes aren't affected. They're doing really well. And if the plant got completely infected, it's just got powdery mildew on it. But I seem to have been fixed it. I've been spraying it with, I'll show you the sprays I use. So, sorry for the dirty bottle. I do use the neem oil on my plants if I absolutely need to, if the diseases aren't going away. And then I also use this. This is an all-seasoned, it controls insects and any diseases. So I can use this year-round. And I'm using this because it's a little stronger than the neem oil. But it says this is for organic gardening, which is great. That is what I want. So yeah, this is amazing. I really like this. This really helps to control the spider mites in my garden, which we get a lot of spider mites. Curly's joining us. So this is the rest of the parsnips I have. I sold my other parsnips that were in my barrel. And then I have kale. It's doing fantastic. Tomatoes are doing great. Peppers or tomatoes. That's the yellow pear variety. And my squash, it's doing okay. I think I need to hit it with that liquid bloom so I can get more flowers and fruit. And I have more tomatoes back there. Lots of tomatoes. Those are green zebra tomatoes. Oh, I want to show you guys this. You probably haven't seen this in a video because it's always been hidden. But I do grow celery, and that's an heirloom variety. It's so delicious. I'm going to be selling that at market. And I do have shade cloth here because this area gets so hot. The plants would just get scorched if they didn't have any shade. And I still get blooms on the plants, which is fantastic. Because I want to keep my pepper production going, so if I have shade cloth, that really helps. And then over here, my composter, I've got a lot of things in there. I need to dig out compost soon. More seedlings. I just have a kale blend variety over here. And I could put this in a greenhouse, but I just want to see what does better. If the things do better outside or if they do better in the greenhouse. We'll go over there and take a look and see what's in the greenhouse. But all my tomatoes in my pots are doing really good. I believe these are 2-gallon pots, which is pretty small for a tomato plant. but the chilies seem to be okay in them. And this is a green zebra. The green zebras are so delicious. I'm definitely be growing those every year. My eggplants are doing great. I started these eggplants from seed so long ago, I couldn't even tell you when. But this is like a smaller, younger plant that's doing really good. And then these, I have 3 large, very mature plants that are about to give me fruit. Here's one right here that's about to set fruit. I'm super excited. This is my first year I've had success with eggplants. Every other year I've had, even when I bought plants from nurseries, I have not had any success. Oh, I hear a hummingbird. Oh, there they are. They're fighting. I have a feeder here in the back, so they pretty much claimed that already. So yeah, here is my eggplant. The only problem I seem to have with the eggplant is the grasshoppers eating it and spider mites. Like this right here has spider mites on it. But that leaf isn't doing anything, so I'll just take that off. And then my Indigo Sun cherry tomato plant is just doing crazy. I'm just letting it go wild. The tomatoes on here are so good. I hope I get more. And this is just an heirloom. This is a black zebra tomato. And then that's a pink Berkeley tie-dye. This is a pineapple, which I haven't gotten any fruit off the pineapple. Hopefully I do. That'd be really cool if I do. And alright, so the garden vlog, again, not the garden vlog, the garden tour had to stop again because my phone reheated. It's so hot here in Southern California, it's ridiculous. So I will try to leave off where I was, which was over by the eggplants, I believe. Okay, so I showed you guys the eggplants. Squash beds are doing okay. It's later in the day, so everything's gonna look kind of sad, droopy. That's okay. This kohlrabi, I've just let it grow. It's really big. That's cool. And these, I gotta show you guys, these are beautiful tomatoes. This is the red stripe Roma. I'm gonna sell these my first week at market. So yeah. Those are beautiful. I love those. And then over here, I have some kale and some thyme. And this is I think this is a big rainbow tomato that's in here. Or that's either a Cherokee purple. There's another one down here. Where did it go? I know there's not just one tomato. I guess there's just one tomato on there. I thought there was another one. And then my lemon tree, I'm getting more lemons on it, which is great. Love having lemons. And the hummingbirds like to hang out on this tree. And then I have kale over here in this bed. Yeah, and mint, I just gave it a haircut so it should come back. And then I'll show you guys what's in the greenhouse. Somebody asked me if my plants scorch in here because of the hot weather. No, they don't. They don't scorch. That's because they're watered all the time. I water this greenhouse at least once a day before the sun starts hitting it, and the plants seem to be keeping the moisture in these little cells. And because they're in these like little blocks, not blocks, they're in these trays. These trays can hold water. There isn't any water on this side, but over here on this side, there's water in here, if you guys can see that. So they're not getting dried out. So I have some radish seedlings. I have Swiss chard over there. I have, let's see, echinacea flowers. This is lettuce. So a lot of fall crops, more Swiss chard. Let's see, what's that? Dill. I have dill, more dill. And then coming down, there's this fennel right here. Lots of kale. So I'm gonna have lots of new kale. Carrots, right there in the back. Let's see what else. More Swiss chard. Swiss chard is so easy to grow from seed. It's like ridiculous. And you can even use these as like little microgreens. They're super cute. And more echinacea. I have onions back there. Those are the bunching onions. Some more fennel. And then on the third shelf, I am continuously sowing summer crops. So this one looks like it needs water. So I'll come in here after this tour and I'll give the greenhouse another drink. But I have cucumbers. This is the Straight 8 variety. Fort Hook Giant Swiss chard. Some more fennel seedlings of chili plants. Some nasturtiums. Carrots, lots of carrots. That's coriander back there. Cilantro. And then down here, this is a fairly new, sowed this stuff on 720. So this is fennel. This is kale, probably. This is the Georgia collard green. More Georgia collard greens, fennel, and you can tell some of the heat did damage these, so they're kind of like fell over. Beans, those are beans back there, which those look like they're ready to go into the ground. So I'll plant those in the side garden. Some more, let's see, what is this? This looks like beets. It might be, yep, these are beets. I do have more beets. I don't know where they're at the moment. But yeah, I think these are beets. I'm not sure. Yeah, those are beets. So everything's gonna get a good water. But I think for now, that is gonna be it for the garden tour. All right, you guys, so that is gonna be it for this garden tour. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna head over here into the shade. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tour. Sorry that I'm not uploading videos as regularly as I used to. Gardening in and of itself has just been getting like so busy because I have so many plants to take care of and I don't always have time to record. But I will get better at it, and I have a couple more videos that are coming out, just like topic garden videos that will be coming out soon, so stay tuned. And thank you everybody for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and go ahead and leave me a comment down below of any questions or comments, concerns. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy garden videos, and if you like these tours, because I try to do these tours every single month. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and happy gardening. Bye.